Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. With regard to smart transportation, I would like to concentrate mainly on the city of Bengaluru. Unfortunately, it has become infamous for the traffic log jam that we face day in and day out. As a government, when you look at the traffic log jam, the first area that you tackle is the public transportation. In this regard, we have found that with respect to the bus transport mode, the BMTC, which is the Bangalore Metropolitan Transport Corporation, the ridership has been increasing, which goes on to indicate that a large number of people are moving into the public transportation. So the number of buses that you purchase year on year is increasing. Then the second mode of transportation which Bangalore is seeing right now is metro. Again, in metro also we see the same trend. We have seen that the ridership has increased. And as a matter of fact, just the last month, till now metro, we had a metro with 4 cars. Now we are increasing it to 6 cars. We find that the public transportation, we have taken care of it. We went to the industry, and again we found that the IT parks, they changed their working hours. You find that the vehicles or the buses that are plying from the IT park start at 7 or 8 in the morning, so that the roads are free for the government office and the other school goers. And also we found that when we come to the carpooling as well, the industry brought in the carpooling. The IT sector actually pushed a lot towards the carpooling. So all these solutions came in, and still we find that there's a lot of congestion within the city. And beyond this, we find that now we have an outer ring road. When we talk about the heavy vehicles, at around 10 to 15 kilometer radius, we had an outer ring road. Now we are planning to come up with a peripheral ring road which goes beyond 20 kilometers. So we see the city expanding, we are taking many initiatives, but still we find that the traffic continues to be a menace. In this regard, since it's a smart transportation, I would like to focus on 3 technologies that we are currently focusing on in the city of Bangalore. One being the public bicycle sharing, the second being the intelligent traffic management system, and the third one is something interesting we are trying to explore with respect to open source data. The first one being public bicycle sharing. Let me share the experience that the government of Karnataka has with respect to implementation of PBS in various cities. The first one that we implemented was in Mysore. In Mysore, World Bank came forward to fund the particular project. So this was a project of around 20 crores where we found around 450 cycles were plying across the city with around 50 docking stations. So when you talk about a public bike sharing system, the usual things that you'll be looking into is what kind of a cycle do you go in for? Do you go in for a gear or gearless, and then the docking system, do you go for a docked system or a dockless system? Then you'll be transporting these vehicles. So all these things were taken care of, and in Mysore we have the system for the past 2 years, so we have some experience on that front. But the real issue started cropping up when World Bank in this, so the assets were bought, then the O&M was done. Now we find that the O&M period is coming to an end. So now the city corporation is sitting with an asset, and we don't know how to maintain it. So this is one challenge which most of the cities are facing. So we thought we'll move into a PPP mode. Right now we have 7 smart cities in Karnataka, and in all the smart cities we are exploring bringing in the public bicycle sharing. And we had a meeting and we realized in PPP project, usually you'll be giving a viability gap funding, which usually goes up to around 30% of the total project cost. But during our interaction, we realized that most of the players who are coming in are asking for in excess of 50%. So this is again kind of causing us a hurdle. So in Bangalore, one particular mode or one particular mechanism that is being developed is the DULT, which is the Department of Urban Land Transport. This has gone ahead. They have decided that we'll not enter into public bicycle sharing, be it PPP mode or be it the EPC mode where we'll be managing it. We'll do only 3 activities. The rest we'll leave it to the market. What are the 3 things they'll do? First is with respect to building of the cycle tracks. So DULT, they'll go ahead and identify places where you can have dedicated cycle tracks and build them. Second is you need the dockless stations where you'll be doing a geofencing of that area, and a person can come and drop the vehicle over there. So in this activity, DULT has already identified close to 4,000 locations across the city of Bangalore by interacting with various departments. So you will now find that these stations are coming up very close to the metro station, and also you find that there are a lot of flyovers in the city. Right below the flyover, you have space which gets utilized as a parking area for these cycles. So this is something which we are exploring, and the third activity which DULT will be doing is with respect to the PBS operation itself. They are not going to play any role except for the fact that when some operator wants to come into this market, he will have to apply for a permit. So very nominal fee will be charged to an operator on a per cycle basis. So there will be no burden on the government per se with respect to the PBS system. So this is one part of it. And the second one that we are looking at is intelligent traffic management system. This intelligent traffic management system, we have entered into an agreement with the government of Japan, and this is something which we foresee to be implemented within the next 2 years. In this one, we are going to do the GPS tagging of most of the public transport buses. Using the VMS, the variable messaging system, you'll be getting an update of where the vehicles are moving. But the more important system that the Japan government is bringing in is with respect to the queue management or the queue density measurement sensors. So at the various locations, you'll be putting in the sensors and you'll be measuring the traffic volume as well as the density, and also you'll be capturing the sizes of the vehicles to get an idea as to where do you find heavy vehicles moving within the city. So what all this will help us in, and this particular information, we'll be putting it up both on the web as well as a mobile app. So just like how we find in a Google map with respect to the traffic congestions, going further, you'll find that in this very system, you'll be able to get a much better information. And also it will help us in much more customizing the period of your signals as well as the pedestrian duration of the pedestrian signals as well. But beyond this, what we are mainly focusing on is the historical data that we'll gather from this. This historical data is something which the traffic management system will be using in order to decide on where do you want to set up a one-way, how do you want to divert the traffic. So going further, we want to ease the traffic so that it moves across the city rather than congested in particular area. And just to conclude, the last solution that we are looking at it, and something which we are excited and we find even the industry will come in because it's more of a collaborative effort, is the open source data. Right now, we are coming up with smart parking, where you'll be having the GPS location. On the on-street parking, you'll be having the GPS location. But beyond this, there are quite a few malls, and within the malls, you have the parking slots. Right now, a person traveling on the road doesn't know where he can find a parking slot. So what will happen is we are going to provide the IT infrastructure part of it. A database will be created where a standard data parameter structure will be given. Okay, you need to provide these 3 information in this particular format. A particular mall or someone will say, okay, we have so many parking slots available, and whatever application that gets fed into the database. So this is an open source database where they provide based on their comfortability, they'll make it public. And then this becomes public to the app developers. So this is where we find that quite a few startups are interested. They will be coming in and they'll be having access to this public data, which again they'll be using to provide various other services. And at the government level, again, we'll use this information to look at where are those traffic congestions to ensure that the traffic gets diverted. So with respect to smart transport, I think in the city of Bangalore, we have been facing this issue for a long period. We have tried all the traditional mechanism at our hand. We have been successful to some extent, but there's still a long way to go. And I think through these collaborative efforts, we will be moving in the right direction to ease the traffic. Thank you.